So we started in 2012, 10 years ago. And in fact, we are the only, the reason was that was Geertruyden who started, who took the initiative, who is now retired, emeritus. And the main reason that he wanted to do this because he saw that in Belgium there was not, Flanders, there was no real master epidemiology. There was already the master statistics, but no. So he said, okay, after a market survey, there are 300 positions. Let's start here to do a master, and in collaboration with our colleagues of Hasselt, because we didn't have really a statistical expertise here, so they helped us to create this program, which we are still collaborating and still thankful today. And the idea of this master, it's very, you see the content, a master that really prepares you also to be a researcher or to be a public health advisor. The combination of depending your own interests, so that you do research or in infectious disease or in genetic chronic disease, clinical epidemiology, health policy, or that you go more in advisory functions in international NGOs, in government, etc. You will see that with the presentations of the guy today. So I think it's a unique applause. That's why we said it. It tries to also contaminate the other programs in our faculty to professionalize on everything what's research matters. And it's a mixture of, we also involve, we not only do quantitative, very important is that we also teach qualitative research, because qualitative research has a huge added value, especially at the beginning, define problems, detecting problems, and at the end, implementation. It's not all evidence-based. The main issue is at the end to implement things. And so their qualitative research methods can have, process evaluations can have a huge. We have, of course, thanks also to the ICP program, we have a lot of international students, so you have a lot of international contacts, and I think that's the same in Hasselt. There are hands-on learning, data management, a RedCap, R, so there's a lot of hands-on learning in the. We have for people who don't have the right background, bridging program, and it's the only program in Belgium that's recognized by the Dutch Society for Epidemiologists, meaning that if you get this diploma, you can call yourself an epidemiologist A, which in fact gives you a huge advantage if you apply for a job that you say, I'm an epidemiologist A, and a lot of people know maybe a little bit of epidemiology, some maybe well, but it's you have that diploma that's recognized by them. We don't have yet, in Belgium, epidemiology is not yet recognized. So, and that's what we want. You can go on the website, and so all the competence that we like to acquire during that training program, I'm not going to go in detail to it, because I invite you to. So I will there. You will find. I hope it works. Yes, no. Where do this happen? No. What I was So on the website, you will find the study program in detail. I think for the master epidemiology or the master, I think you're doing a program. But what may be interesting, you also see the learning outcomes and different. So I invite you to go there. Now the admission requirements, and I will come back in the next slide. That's maybe more important. This in theory, in real life, a lot of you have already that study epidemiology have already a master. But in theory, it's a bachelor after master. Master after bachelor, sorry. So in theory, you could do after your bachelor in medicine, bachelor biomedicine, bachelor's by biology, a master in epidemiology. In real life, you have to admit we have a lot of who do it as a malama and who follow it after that they already obtained a master diploma. If you don't fulfill the requirements, there's a committee that gives you a bridging program to still do that. But I think the next slide may be more interesting, because there I've made a link to the master statistics and a link, and for the master epidemiologists, it may be interesting to know, because yes, the next. So we did a survey, and we asked in the work field, people working in the biomedical and what is the most thing that interested you, that if you would like to follow a training. And we saw that a lot want to follow classical modern models of epidemiology, which is a course in an AP. Some want to follow the introduction to statistics that Neil gave in combination with data management. Some want to follow data. So there are different combinations that we get out of the work field, people working in the field. And for that, after following that questionnaire and seeing what has happened in the last year, in the last 10 years, we created babies. And so it's or Russian puppets, whatever you can call it. So, and it's in fact towards, I call it the slide towards a tailor-made offer for epidemiology. Because in origin, if you saw the first slide, we wanted to reach people who are interested in epidemiology to come and to follow the master. But what you discover after 10 years, if you look, that in fact a lot are malamas, but there are few malamas from Belgium because those people work, they already have a diploma. And if you 2 years full time, if you have a family or if you're already 30 plus, it's not easy. Or you have to follow it 4 years half time, also not easy. A long time, you have to write a master thesis. So there was something that we overlooked. For this, we created now, this year it will start with postgraduate epidemiology. It's a baby of the master. What's the difference? It's only offered half time for 2 years. There is no it's for a mama. Here you have to have a master. You have to prove that you have already mastered. And you have to follow all the core courses of the BP. And you can choose, like in the beginning, the older alumni know that you had choice tracks. That's not the case anymore. Everybody has to follow everything. Because as a master epidemiology, you don't know which job you will find. So if you choose infectious diseases and there's an offer for cancer, you say, oh, I've chosen the wrong track during my master. So you have to follow everything. But the postgraduates, they have to choose. Because the postgraduates are people working already in the field. So they already have a topic. So they do a PhD. So the postgraduates, and they sit in the same classroom as the masters. So there are a lot of advantages on the postgraduate. It's 2 years half time. You cannot do it in 1 year. You sit together with the master students. You don't have to do a thesis, but you have to have already a master and you have to choose. It's 60 study points in total. Now I make the link to the master statistics. If some of you, after your master statistics, and that's something we discussed already in the past, would like to move on further in epidemiology, you can follow all the postgraduate and the master after your master statistics, and you will get a lot of exemptions. Because you already followed your statistics, so exempted for statistic, exempted. So in fact, you can follow one of those programs with exemptions of everything what you learned in UAntwerp already, which may be that you have a kind of light track maybe, or light track postgraduate to follow. So here, the origin is the same. In theory, it's for bachelor students, 2 years full time. Here, or 4 years half time. Here, it's only 2 years half time, but here it's master students without a thesis. So this is more for people working in Sansano, the pharma industry, or doing a PhD. Who said, I'm doing a PhD, it's 4 years, I can do this, 2 years half time. I got all my research and I got an extra diploma while together with my PhD. Then the last Russian puppet is the micro-credential. We start this year with its minimum 12 ECT as a micro-credential. We start this year, you saw the survey, so we started this year with the epidemiology micro-credential. So that course will be followed by, that's the same target group, but then you follow only one course. If you say this postgraduate, it's too much for me, you can follow one course, which is epidemiology, which is 12 study points in total, and then you have all the full course. The other course that I said, the other combinations that you show on the slides, statistics and data management, or statistics and advanced statistics, or there are 3-4 combinations came out of the survey. We'll probably follow later, but we first administratively will check how it works and how it goes. This is in fact the same target for the postgraduate. The big difference will be that it's only one course and that you can get accreditation. So we go for accreditation, that meaning a GP who's working, or somebody who says, okay, I do it for my lifelong learning and to get accredited, and that I to skill up my epidemiology. So this are so I think also for the baby students, it is new information that that you know a little bit what is ongoing. I invite you, I'm not doing a click because it will take too much time. You go on the website, everything is explained there. Of course, next to this, we have the EBQ, which is for overseas, mainly for overseas PhD students that we already organize also for 10 years, because the doctoral school program of Antwerp is not adapted for international students, so they cannot stay here. We don't like that they stay a whole year for 2, 3 months, so that EBQ course, we have on infectious diseases, of course, and there's of course we are involved, which is more policy oriented and more multidisciplinary oriented, is our inter-university Master of Global Health, which we do together with Hasselt, Ghent, Leuven, and Brussels. So that are other courses that we are involved. You just have to follow it up. And for this base, the ICP program is based in the Global Health Institute. I invite you to go on the website to see what we're doing. I'm not going to go in detail. But epidemiology, I think it's more and more clear that for those working, that's a broad field. Like you have in the hospital, cardiology, pneumology, ORL, nephrology, etc. You can also have within epidemiology a lot of different expertises, and you can work more on genetic epidemiology. You can more work on environmental and vaccine. All different fields with different considerations, different nomenclature, different issues. So I will invite you to. Okay, and then for those in Hasselt, Antwerp is a city. So Hasselt is a city. Small. So if you want to have fun, what area of countries? Okay, I give the floor to Neil.